Now that we finished spatchcocking the chickens, I'm going to show you two different techniques that you can use to prepare and cook the birds. So one of the things you may consider doing, regardless of how you like to cook, is brining your birds. So most brines consist of some form of salt and sugar and then a variety of different spices to your liking. In this one here we have herbs of thyme, rosemary, and sage. So we've left this brining overnight. If you're going to spatchcock it, definitely brine it spatchcock, not whole. Brine for at least 12 hours. I recommend 24. Some people will brine as long as 48 hours. There's no right or wrong, it's just personal preference. Now we're going to move on to the two most common techniques I think most people are using in their kitchens. One is either roasting their chicken or grilling it on the barbecue. And what's really great about this is all the conventional methods that you would normally use for whole chickens still applies to spatchcocked chicken. So when we have the cavity of the breast here opened up, basically it still allows room to insert your favorite flavors. So this one here is that lemon, garlic, and sage, and we just tuck it in under the skin there, just like so, and we've done that on both sides of the breast. And from there, to make sure we get a nice crisp skin, because who doesn't love that, bit of olive oil on top, and then we just add, in this case here, we've got some fresh garlic, again for flavor. Paprika is a great spice to use on any of your poultry for coloration. And what we're doing here is we're going to roast this in potatoes, celery, onions, and carrots, and it just gives a great, wonderful flavor. Smear that around there to get good covering, and then I just like to finish it off with some salt and pepper. So this we're going to put into the oven, typically about 350, 375. So with thermometers, you want to find a nice thick portion of the bird. In this case here, I would choose the breast, and I want to pick a middle portion of that breast. I'm going to angle it in and just up till that point, just so I can still have a clear reading of the dial in itself. So once I've done that, that thermometer stays in there. I don't have to stress out over it being overcooked or undercooked. I just check on it regularly and the dial will tell me when that temperature is done. And now that we're ready to go, we're going to pop this into the oven. The other way I love to prepare my chickens is for the barbecue. If you're like me, I barbecue all year round. So first of all, I'm going to start off just by taking some simple olive oil and sprinkle it all in the open cavity. Fresh ground pepper, fresh salt as well. And then my favorite go-to spice if I'm in a hurry is just Montreal steak spice. And then once that's done, we're just going to flip it over and repeat the same on the back side. And now we're just going to, with the oil and herbs mixed in, we're just going to spread it around and make sure everything's good to go. The last thing I want to touch base on is safety from a cross-contamination perspective. So obviously we talked before about cleaning counters properly. Don't forget the tools that I've touched, right? You're going from raw chicken to touching things from the spice mills and the oil as well. So give those a quick wipe down with your combination of bleach and wash water. Now that we've got our chicken off the grill, we're going to show you a simple way how to portion it up. And this is one, again, the great benefits of spatchcocking the chicken in terms of you don't have to worry about how to carve it as you would a traditional roasted bird. So one of the things we're going to do right away is make sure our tools are sharp. In this case, I've honed my knife so it's nice and sharp. And you don't necessarily need to use a carving knife in this case. I'm just using my good old handy trusted 8-inch cook's knife here. We're just going to make a slight incision here and free that leg up, and naturally it's going to come apart here, and basically you just pull it all the way and it separates just like that. Very simple, easy. So to portion this, I'm just going to turn over to the side here, and basically what you're going through is right through this joint here. Pull it away here and we get our thigh and our leg. And we'll do the same on the other side. We're just going to make this slight incision here and pull that leg away. So we've got our thigh and our drumstick there. A beautiful thigh. So now all we have left is basically the breast and the two wings here. So the wings, for ease, some people like to flip it over. It's a little bit easier for visual. You're just going to follow along that joint there and cut along. And that's one wing. And we'll do the same on this one as well. Two wings. So once we flip it back over, we follow this natural incision here we have on the breast, and we're basically just cut straight down No worries about any bones or damaging the knife or chipping it. And from here, the only cartilage or bone we have here is just from the back here, and that's pretty soft. If you so desire to, we can then portion this further just by turning the breast to the side and just making some small incisions. Beautiful juicy meat. Put that right onto our board. Or you may choose to leave it whole for any guests that are really, really hungry. So that's all today. I hope you enjoyed this educational video on behalf of House of Knives and BC Chicken. Thanks for watching and enjoy.